Hey, coin folk, welcome back. As previously mentioned, we got a few nickels here that we need to go through. I've had this bowl sitting around forever. It's all full rolls of, well, most of them are full date rolls. This one here is a roll 39D Jefferson nickels. That's the only roll of Jeffersons in the bunch, and the rest of these fellas are all mixed buffalo nickels that we picked up. There's quite a few, I think, full rolls, the 36 and maybe 37. Yep, there's a 37. I don't know how I want to organize all this. Some of them are actual mixed days or dates. That one says 27. I don't know if there's a 36. If, like, say, this is another roll of 36. I don't know if it's all supposed to be, all it says on it is 36. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be all 36 Philly or if they just don't have mint marks listed or if they're mixed all together. Not real sure. I kind of went on a spending spree on a little whatnot auction for my Witter coin, and we got what we got. This one I threw in a flip because it kind of went crazy. Another 36 during shipping, so just kind of gathered them up and threw them in there. What's that one? 35. $37. Mixed 1920s. We got another 20s. Mixed 30s, looks like. '30s. Another mixed 20s. I think that says 20s. Or maybe that's 30s. One doesn't say anything there or here. So we're just going to say that's a mixed roll. 20s and 30s, it looks like. Another 20s and 30s. Another 20s and 30s. Another 20 and 30s. And just buffaloes. Alright, we can work with that. We'll get there eventually. And lastly, 35 again. So, we got an assortment that we're definitely going to have to take our time going through. But throw that to the side. I'm going to get to sorting. I'll be back in a day or two. Nah, maybe not quite that long. Well, definitely not that long for you, but it'll be a little while for me. And we'll see what we got going on here. So, let's go. So, I figured we start on the one roll of Jefferson since we only had the one. Tore the little packaging and tape off of it. And the first thing we looked at was a Jefferson. So, looks like a dateless buffalo from here. So who knows what's going to be in this roll? There might not be any Jeffersons in it, and I'm not seeing any. So apparently I didn't buy a full roll of key date Jefferson nickels. Instead, I bought some looks like dateless buffaloes. So that wasn't exactly the result we were looking for, but I guess we'll go through them and see what's in there. All right, let's go. All right, so we finally got through this first roll here. If this is how all of them turn out, it's going to be rather interesting. I don't know. We got a total of 26 no or partial date out of Philly. 3 No partial dates out of Denver. We got a few with readable dates out of Philly. I think they're all out of Philly. Somewhat readable dates. 23. What else we got? 24. These are all Phillies. I guess I don't need to flip them over. And a 25. And then we had quite a few out of the 30s with somewhat readable dates. 34 Denver, it looks like. Yep, 34 Denver. We had 335 Phillies. A 34 Denver. And 37 Denver. Unfortunately, all them legs. And a 38, I believe it was also Denver. Yeah, also Denver. Only had two that kind of two feather. I don't really know exactly. I'm not a Buffalo Nickel pro by any stretch of the imagination, but it appears as though this third feather is gone on this one, and I want to say the date looks like either 16 or 18, but I don't really see the two feather variety listed for that year, so I don't know. But just kind of, you can see it's kind of has some corrosion in there, and this one's almost gone, but you can see a little bit of that third feather. But it also is completely dateless, as the coin geek would say, which rather fitting for a coin collector. But we still got a bunch more to go through, so I'm gonna do my best to keep these organized as I go, and I don't know when I'll bring you back in, but I'll bring you back in at some point. So let's go. Well, the second roll we went through was this partial roll labeled 1927. Wasn't sure what we found in it after that first roll, but it was actually a roll of 1927. All Philly. Total of, 38, I think. Varying condition, but some better than others. All full dates. All, I don't know, average circulated. So, I don't know what these rolls are going to have. I don't know. The one was kind of all crazy. The other wasn't. So, let's keep going and we'll find out. So, we went through these two rolls next, sorting just by decade because I wasn't sure what was in them. They weren't really labeled. We got one dateless out of the bunch. A little pile from the teens, which was kind of surprising. Wasn't really expecting anything quite that old out of them. Most of them was from the 20s, and then these couple piles over here were from the 30s. So pretty good assortment out of there. I think I'm just going to keep going and get everything separated by teens, 20s, and 30s, and then I'll bring you back in at that point, because if I stop every roll, it's going to take forever. So I'm just going to keep on going, and I'll be back in a bit. All right, so we're a little more than halfway sorted out here. I figured I'd bring you in. It turned out it didn't matter what these rolls were labeled. Everything was kind of all mixed. But so far, the ones with just a single date on them, I've only opened two of them, but we had the 27s and the 37s that were all exactly what they said. So the only thing I haven't gone through now is the ones with just single dates on the rolls. We got a couple rolls of 35s, half dozen rolls of 36s, a couple rolls of 37s. But from what we've been through so far, we actually had a decent amount out of the teens. Almost a roll there. We had all these guys here, all out of the 20s. Mixed dates And I haven't really even looked at mint marks yet. Those were the 27s we looked at earlier. And all these from the 30s. Again, mixed dates, mint marks. We'll get to the mint marks eventually, and then that roll of 37s. We also had a little more than a full roll of dateless buffaloes, like completely dateless, can't see anything. So I don't know where I'm going to go next, but we'll see. I'll bring it back in as soon as I figure out something and start looking through some more stuff. So let's go. All right, so we finally got the teens over here and the 20s over here, all sorted up by date and mint mark. Got this whole bucket full of 30s here that I've partially sorted through, but I'm going to have to come back to them. I think make them a whole separate video because I'm assuming this is going to be running a little long here. But we did have two 1913s, both type 1. The raised mound on the back there. No type 2s, no Denvers or San Frans. I don't know why I put that one down there. We had one 1914 Philly. Couple 1915s. 1916 Philly and Denver. 1917s Philly, Denver, and San Francisco. 1918s Philly and Denver. And 1919s Philly, Denver, and San Francisco. I can see the dates aren't showing super great on camera. Some of them are pretty weak in person, but there is enough there to distinguish the date. Otherwise, I'll just put them in a little dateless roll that we're going to have to go through at some point. Over into the 20s, we had a 1920 Philly, Denver, and San Fran. Just one lonely 1921 Philly. 1923 Philly and a couple San Franciscos. 24 Philly, couple Denvers, and one San Francisco, looks like. Yeah, just one. 25 no Denvers. We did have a good little stack of Phillies and one over here, San Francisco. 26 and 27, we got a ton of Phillies. A few 26 Denvers, no San Franciscos, and one 27 San Francisco, no Denvers. 28s, got a little mishmash of everything. Philly, Denver, and San Fran. And same with 29s, although many more of the Philly and Denver than just a small little handful down here of the San Franciscos. Oh, and this roll over here too, which we had already looked at earlier. It's not a full roll, but it's all 27 Phillies. So between that and this stack here, we got a ton of 27 Phillies. So I'm going to jump in now and try to do a little search for errors, varieties, and if I find anything, I'll bring it back in. Got our first find out of the teens here. We have a 1917 Denver with a two-feather Indian. You can see kind of right here right underneath that larger feather, there should be a third piece down in here, and I believe this will qualify as a two-feather. And we'll look at kind of a regular one here. You can see this other piece of feather. You should be down there, but like I said, I'm no pro on the buffalo nickels, but I'm not seeing anything in there. I mean, it's grimy, it's dirty, but I ain't seeing any evidence of a feather. So I'll take that for sure. Pretty cool little find. Gonna keep on going, see if we can find something else. I'll bring it back in if we do. Let's go. All right, we're back on with the 2018 here, and I need some help here, folks. I don't know if this would qualify as a two-feather. I had this one here just kind of compared to. You could obviously see the real strong third feather on that one. This one here, like, it looks like super faint. I don't know. like I said, I don't know how far gone they really need to be. I'm going to say it probably wouldn't count, but I don't know. It's close. But chime in if you have a good knowledge base, I guess, in the Buffalo nickels. Let me know. I have to do a little research on my own to see what we can figure out, but I'm gonna guess that wouldn't quite get us there, but figured I'd bring you in and share it anyways and keep on going. Well, that's it. We've been through the teens here, and all we came across was our 17 Denver, 2-feather, and possible 2-feather on the 1918. And I already knocked over the pile of some of the 20s we had sorted out here. So I'm going to go ahead and put these guys away to get them out of the way. Sort this back out again and start on the 20s. Let's go. Well, we just finished up the last couple stacks here out of the 20s. Got some of them back there already tubed up. Not really anything standing out in the 20s. Of course, we had a few nicer ones just as far as rarity. Some of the mid-20s with mint marks are pretty nice to have, which I really wasn't expecting. So it's nice to have a couple tougher dates in there. But that's going to be a wrap on the teens and 20s. I think we're going to cut off this video here. We're going to make these guys over here a second video. These are all of our 30s here, which are partially sorted to this point, but I don't want to run forever here, so we'll come back with another one on this one. It might be the next video. It might be a little bit later down the road. I don't know. But we'll see you there when we get there. Hope this is at least somewhat enjoyable. I know I thoroughly enjoyed myself just having a bunch of buffaloes to look at. Even ones that are a little bit uglier like this guy. But it was still fun. And that's going to be it, folks. Good luck on your hunts, and I'll see you around. Later.